What's up? It's Jason. I'm back with another video, and it's another recent finds video. This time out on the road in Toronto, my home away from home. Loads of record shops in Toronto, as you know, and I hit up two of them again. My usual spot, Sonic Boom. I got a few things. Across the street from Sonic Boom in Toronto is a place called Invisible City. It is a must visit if you're into electronic music, disco, funk, etc. as well. Great selection of used records there. Always some gems. Hip hop, industrial music as well. A bunch of other stuff too. They've got 45s, they've got tapes, they've got lots of stuff. And luckily this time I hit them up first. Went in there first before I went to Sonic Boom, so I got a big stack of wax from them. So I got some singles today to show. A lot of underground techno, electronic, some house music, a little bit of hip hop to show, as well as kind of a weird, some experimental stuff that's kind of like a weird soundtrack in a way. And I'll kick things off with a cassette actually, because first night I arrived in Toronto, went out, first or second night, went out to a couple of events. One was a techno night, kind of influenced some of my buying the next day. And the other was experimental noise event that a friend of mine was co-presenting. So luck would have it, I was just able to make it and check it out. And one of the artists released this cassette, Barrett E. Ledyard. Ledyard. Right, Ledyard. I don't know if you can see that or not, but really cool cassette. Sort of ambient noise, drone, if you will. Great tape cover as well. Cool design. This one's called Comet Kept Crashing on a Buried in Slag and Debris label. Now Barrett's stuff, he is, I guess, Toronto region. I think I have a previous tape by him. He goes by Taunch Dwelling. Had a cassette by him before on a Canadian label as well. So I think he also runs a label, but not this release. So some experimental noise to kick things off. Let's get into the vinyl. Now, also keeping it fairly local here, Ontario. This is a classic techno artist from the 90s, the Kooky Scientist, aka Fred Gianelli. I have a couple of his records. Another single or two. This one was on +8 back in the day. And I think this is a 1990s release. No date on here. Yeah, 1994. This is the Blue Movie Kooky 1 and R70 NEAU. Looks like on the other side. Really cool techno. Kind of not too fast. A little bit trippy. Kind of known for trippy stuff. Then on a deeper techno side, almost like deep house techno, we'll say. UK artist. This is Flori, track or release called Within Reason. It's on Secret Sundaze label. Kind of familiar with the label. I did manage, they have a listening booth in this shop, Visible City, so I managed to check them out before I picked them up. Pretty good prices, $10 for a somewhat rare single. Flori, I think it's James Taylor might be the name. Anyway, he goes, yeah, there it is. Jamie Taylor, sorry. Goes by Jamie Taylor, goes by Flori, and does sort of almost Detroit style, deep tech house, if you will. Next up, we gonna go stateside here with an old school Chicago house track. This is Master C and J. You know, a couple months ago when I did my video about writing on the sleeves and on the record label, somebody I think also did that on this case, but they also had second thoughts and tried to scratch it off. Nevertheless, this is a dope jam. Deep kind of early 80s Chicago house grooves. This, I think, it's from 86 on Trax Records, the legendary label. Usually you see the red labels for Trax, but this is a black one. Dub Love, and the flip side, which I'm not sure. I think it's used to hold, When You Used to Hold Me or something like that. Liz Torres. Can't think today. Liz Torres is involved in the in this group here, Master C and J. I don't think her vocals is on this one, but this crew from Chicago also like to go by the pseudonym the New York Kids as well. So yeah, 80s house from Chicago, deep stuff, good groove. Had to pick it up, $10. On to some Nordic noise techno they put on the sticker. Yeah, this is some more experimental techno, if you will, from Sweden. I think this label, Stockholm. Yep, Northern Electronics label. Bit of an album here. This one was probably the priciest one from Invisible City that I picked up. It was $22. But I don't see a lot of records from the Northern label, the Northern Electronics. And I know it's always pretty good quality stuff. So cool listening records, some ambient, some drone, some experimental techno, some beats. That one's cool. I think this is actually a two-person project that includes Varg, a techno guy named Varg, as part of this project. But it's Ulwhednar. I don't even be able to pronounce that, but 1250 is the name of the record. 1520. Wow. I'll put some links to these down below so you guys can take a listen. Next up, another techno record, kind of industrial techno single picked up. This one's Druids by Kareem. And Kareem, I think, runs this label. New to me, I never heard the artist or this label before. Something came out in the 2000s. Zark, I think is the label. Yeah, there's the logo there. So yeah, kind of self-release in a way. A lot of his own stuff on this label. Yeah, Zark, Z-H-A-R-K Records out of Berlin. Some sort of hard-hitting industrial techno. Kind of was in that mood because the night before I went to a hard techno night featuring Adam X out of New York / Berlin these days. And kind of similar style there to that record. A couple more from Invisible City, and then I'll close off with the ones I got from Sonic Boom. Now, speaking of Adam X, this is actually a record by him under another name. It's on the label The Corner, good label out of New York City. This is X Crashed. Where Were You in '92? So the X kind of gives you a hint. Adam X involved here. And this one, it's got some acid as well, and some hard techno, almost industrial style techno, but for $6, can't go wrong. I've got a few releases on the Corner label. It's pretty solid back in the 2010s. I don't know if it's still going, but good New York label. And then this one here behind me, in the green, from Germany, Ulf Lohmann on Frozen Fields. Have heard of this artist before, and of course this label is on Compact. Yeah, I have some other Ulf Lohmann that is quite ambient and mellow. So the deal with this one, it's an album. Yeah, it's 6 tracks in total. Most of the B side is all like ambient tracks, but the A side's got 2 kind of kick-ass techno tracks, tech house beats. Fairly early Compact release. It's like 117, so Compact is probably at like 500 or something now. But cover is a little beaten up, but like I said, I played these before I picked them up, and they all sounded awesome. So who gives a shit about the cover, right? So some killer techno that I picked up at Invisible City, and then we are going to continue on with some experimental and a classic hip-hop record I'll show at the end. I didn't actually have in my collection. It's not an OG, it's a reissue, but you know, it's still cool to have. First up, we got Bed of Nails Compound. New-ish to me. This is an artist named Christian Cosmos, but it's actually Dominic Furnow, aka Vatican Shadow, and this is a sub-label of Vatican Shadow's called Nail, Bed of Nails. It's the third release on Bed of Nails from 2012. And it's also, here's the flip side, Christian Cosmos. So this is pretty hard industrial techno. Fairly listenable though. Nice purple vinyl. Yeah, not a bad one. $14, kind of a near mint copy. So I didn't feel so bad with the prices because after traveling, it's kind of nice to have Canadian dollar prices. This one was a little pricier, $20. Something I'd never seen before. It's called The Seed. Now I'm not sure if this is a real actual movie. It's an original score by Lucrecia Dalt. Probably butchering that name, but Lucrecia Dalt is I think Maria Lucrecia Perez, who does some really cool experimental music. She has collaborated with Aaron Dillaway before and put out a bunch of her own stuff as well. So yeah, I don't know. It's got like kind of movie listing stuff on the back here. So yeah, maybe it's an actual movie. The Seed. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look it up. Should have looked it up before I did this video on Letterboxd, right? 2022 release on a UK label. Very ghoulish cover, dark, ambient, experimental stuff. Whoa, stuff going flying here. We got the inner sleeve. Yeah, that's pretty cool. There's a tape loop part to this from Aaron Dillaway as well. There you go. Fits well with my death metal collection as well. Those are the inner center labels. Right, so The Seed, and then last but not least, we're going out with some hip hop, some classic hip hop. Saw this in the bin for $40. Near mint vinyl, but a little bit of a fold here to the cover, but the classic Digital Underground Sex Packets. Used to have this on cassette for sure as a kid. I don't think I ever had the album, but I've had some of the singles. Humpty Dances on this one, for example, and Do What You Like. It's the debut album by Digital Underground on Tommy Boy Records. Reissued a bunch of times over the years. I think this is actually a colored vinyl. I'm not going to open it up though, but you all can guess what the color is. But yeah, big ass parental advisory here. Yeah, Digital Underground from the West Coast, really funky stuff. Humpty Hump, main guy, I think he passed away not long ago, and I think he was actually a cousin of Tupac, if I'm not mistaken, but good one to have in the collection. I'd love to get the OG. Obviously, I'm still looking for the OG, but for now, $40 for reissue, double vinyl too, so it should be loud. And hopefully sounds good too. I didn't get to preview this actually on vinyl yet because I know the material, but I don't know necessarily the quality of this pressing. More on that in a video to come. So that's my latest haul, if you will, from Toronto. I also checked out the Toronto Comic Arts Fair, which was an amazing, almost feels like a 2-day festival of comic book art, panels, movies. A movie as well. Picked up some cool books from that, which maybe I'll show in a separate video. But for now, that is my update. See you guys soon.